Hello, I'm Chrissy Lewis, one of the authors of the Sunrise Readers. Viv Jenkins and I decided to put together a short bio clip just to let you know who we are and what we're up to. I'm currently living in Australia. I grew up in Zimbabwe, being born there. My family moved around a little bit. We lived in Marondera, Harare. We were in Osaka for a while and then returned back to Harare, where I completed all of my schooling years. After school, I enrolled at Teachers College at Hillside in Bulawayo and did my training to become an infant school teacher. I completed the Bachelor of Education degree after that, so that has equipped me well going into my career. I taught at state schools in Zimbabwe, and then I went overseas for a while. On my return, I moved to Gweru and joined forces with Pete and Viv Jenkins in establishing and setting up the fledgling little school, Midlands Christian School in Gweru. I was mostly involved in the junior primary section, particularly developing the Year 1 curriculum and just being alongside as the school developed. My husband, Kevin, arrived the second year that the school was established, and he comes from a high school art teacher background. However, he was teaching in upper primary at that time and later became the principal of the primary school, helping to get the school established as they moved into the secondary phase. After a number of years, we left Gweru and we moved down to South Africa, where we lived for about 18 months before we moved on to Botswana. By then we had two little girls who are now in their 30s, and we moved first to Selebi Piqui, where we both taught at Kopano School. After a few years there, we moved to Jwaneng in the south, and we were teaching at Acacia School for a number of years. Our career paths and choices then took us to New Zealand, where Kevin got a job in Auckland, and we later moved to a small seaside, more country town, having discovered we were not big city folk after all, and we had a good few years teaching at schools in New Zealand as well. For a short while, about 3 years, I homeschooled my daughters at the end of our time in New Zealand, and as we transitioned across to Australia. We thoroughly enjoyed that process, and it was a great experience for me to take my daughters through into the high school curriculum that they were busy doing in order to finish school in Australia. So I started teaching, doing sort of supply teaching or relief teaching at schools in Australia before getting a job at an independent school just down the road from where I live. I was in that role for a number of years, again teaching Year 1 and pre-primary, which are probably my favourite ages to teach. After about 5 years in that role, I left teaching altogether, and having undertaken counselling training, I became a counsellor, and I worked with families, individuals and couples, just helping walk alongside them and hopefully assisting them to do life better. Then I moved into career counselling, so that was another facet, was being able to bring my expertise and information as a teacher across to helping people who were looking for career changes or assistance to get some training for themselves to better their careers as well. I was in that role for about 5 years when Kevin and I took the opportunity to move across to Mozambique for a year. We went to a newly established English medium school in the northern province of Nampula, and we spent a year there helping and contributing where we could. When I returned to Australia, I was again not tempted to go back into teaching. I ended up working in a women's refuge and doing community services type work, as well as a little bit of retail bits and bobs. The teacher side never strays far, and I found myself heading back towards working with adults this time and in a trainer capacity. My current role means that I work with adults who are living with intellectual disability. My role includes helping them with their literacy, numeracy and language skills, as well as their social interactions with each other and with the support workers who assist them in their day-to-day living. All of these facets of life kind of come together to have given me a really broad background in education across now 6 countries, having taught in 5 of them and worked across a whole age range from pre-primary, so in Australia that's children who are 4 turning 5, right through to year 10 age in school, which are kind of 15, 16, and again on to working with adults in a number of different ways, whether helping them with career issues or helping the current cohort that I'm working with. So it's been a real honour to be able to be involved in all these different levels of education across a wide range of countries, and I feel enriched for the whole process. A couple of years ago, Viv and I, that is, we were approached to update the Sunrise readers that had been the core readers in Zimbabwe for close on 30 years. We were delighted with the opportunity, and we were able to bring to bear all our experience, all our training, and get in touch with people in our local communities to find out what's current in education, what the direction is for reading and literacy, and bring all those strands together to put them into the new books. We are thrilled with the way the new books are coming together, and we know that teachers across the board, now that the books are being marketed across Africa, we're delighted to know that the teachers are going to be having in their hands a fantastic tool that will enable them to teach the learning of reading to young readers right through year 1 up to year 3, perhaps and beyond, depending on their language levels, whether they're a second language learner or first language is English. So we hope that you have enjoyed maybe getting to know us a little better, and thank you for following the journey of the Sunrise Readers and for being so supportive of them over the years. I have met Uber drivers, people in shops. One of my co-workers here in Australia grew up reading the Sunrise Readers and were amazed to be working alongside someone as ancient as me who had been involved in setting those readers up for kids like them to read. So here's to the future. We're looking forward to seeing the books fly and to be just part of their journey as well. Thanks so much. We look forward to staying in touch.